Hey, my name is Alexandra. I'm the owner and founder of Mama Roo's, and today I'm going to show you some different techniques for how to get your baby onto your back in an Onbuhimo, specifically in the Onbuhimo Pro in standard or toddler size. That's what we'll be demonstrating today. This is standard size. This is Lucy, my weighted demo doll, and she is about the size of a 3 or 4 month old child. So she's a little bit small for this standard, but I think she's going to work for our demonstration purposes today. So if you haven't watched our adjustment video already, I encourage you to do so. We talked about adjusting the PFAs. We talked about how you can move these sternum strap. We talked about the adjustment under the arm. We talked about removing the hood, and we talked about adjusting the width of the panel so that baby is knee to knee, or if they're older than a year, at least mid-thigh to mid-thigh and comfortable. Okay, in this example, I took off the removable hood, but it did come with one as of the initial release, which is on April 15th. If you're watching this before April 15th, 2025, it is coming. So definitely get on our email list because we will let you know as soon as they are available. And I've got a bunch of them here in the warehouse ready to ship for you. Okay, so there are a couple different ways to get baby onto your back. One thing to keep in mind is we want baby to be as high up as we can. Usually shoulder to shoulder with us is going to be the most comfortable. This can be worn as a front carry. I can show that as an example too. But since most people use the Onbuhimo waistless carrier as a back carry, a high back carry, we're gonna do that too. This is a really fun carry. It's something that, a lot of parents really enjoy, a lot of caregivers enjoy. It lets your baby kind of see everything. It gives them that kind of additional range of motion there. They can be really happy. It folds up really small. It's easy to sort of toss and take with you. It's just a nice carrier. It is a little bit more advanced. It is harder to get into, and it does use different muscles because you don't have any waistband or waist belt. You're going to have to use, sort of your upper back and upper shoulders. If you are someone who likes to, or doesn't mind wearing a heavy backpack, if you're someone who will pick your kid up for piggyback rides and it doesn't bother you, you should be comfortable, or you should be able to get more comfortable in this. If that's not you, but you still really like the style, or you're new to baby wearing, but you really like the style, I just want to encourage you to hang in there. Keep trying. This is our most difficult style we have to get fitted comfortably, but we are here for you. We are always here to help. You don't have to make appointments or pay for, help. Just email us, message us, contact us on our groups. We have we're always available to, to get you into a good, comfortable fit. So don't give up. It does take time, and it will take time to build up those muscle groups, but it's a really fun carrier once you get there. Okay, so what we're going to do with Lucy, our doll, I'm going to show you a couple methods today. So one method is a hip scoot method. I like to have babies be arms out. If you're going to do arms out in this carrier, you would adjust and kind of hold. So you see how I'm kind of holding the top of that panel, kind of at baby's armpit. You don't ever want it to be lower than kind of like that shoulder blade. So if you kind of imagine, like if you can kind of see them flipping backward, that's bad. We don't want that. So about here is where we want that to be. Now this doll is a little bit small, so that might be hard. If you were doing arms in, you would go like that. You don't want the panel to end up higher than the base of the ear to protect their airway. Okay. So let's see if we can get Lucy in, arms out. And I want to kind of share too. This is the kind of thing where if I set, this doll is definitely small for this carrier, but if I put the baby on like this, they would be in that position. And people will say to me, oh, my baby is too big. I promise you, I've put my own kid in and been like, yeah, that was just wrong. It's okay. We all do that. But this is a carrier that kind of takes time to get the idea of it. And because there's not a set amount of fabric that you need to bring between you. This is going to be a lot of fabric because this baby is really small in here, right? But it doesn't have to be a huge amount of fabric, just kind of enough to get them comfortable. So in this hip option, I'm going to have baby sitting on my hip. I've got that panel situated under the arm like I want. I'm hanging on to baby, keeping them comfortable. This is the most important part. This is the part that people usually mess up. I have messed up many times. I don't know if you can see. Okay, this is the webbing, right? This is the webbing of the strap. We need baby to be sitting in there We need their foot through there. One of the most common mistakes I see is this. We have baby with this little, we've got the scoop of fabric between us, but baby's foot has not gone through the webbing, and then baby immediately falls. I mean, you're there, you're helping your baby. You're gonna notice, right? You'll feel them sort of slowly slide down you, right? Hopefully slowly, right? We wanna make sure they're in, okay? Very important. That's one of the most common things that people contact me about. My baby can't stay up. And when we take a look at it, that's the issue. Super easy fix, okay? Just something we have to be aware of. I'm gonna do that on the other side. I'm just doing this to show you. In real life, I would leave them on that side. Just again, showing you. Okay. I wouldn't bend a real baby that dramatically, but you get the idea. All right, so we've got baby on our hip. This is on the hip I naturally would place baby. And we're gonna scoot baby onto our back. So I like to take with my non-dominant hand, I like to hold kind of at the PFAs. I like to grab both at the same time for a variety of these methods. And then I take my dominant hand, then this is because this baby's on my dominant hip. So this baby's on my right hip. So I've got my left hand holding these two. And I'm gonna take my right hand and I'm going between the straps. Okay, again, I wouldn't flail about like this with a real baby. I'm going between and coming through. So you see how this strap here, this is the strap that's gonna be on this shoulder. Okay, so I'm kind of pre-setting so that this shoulder is ready to go, and then I just have to get my arm through the other. So again, for a real baby, you do a little differently. I mean, you do the same method, but not in this juncture way where baby's hanging off of you. Okay, ready? So I had my baby up, I set up, I feel happy with the panel, I feel happy with how they're adjusted. Put my arm through, and I kind of bump them over. So when I did that, my arm went through here. Okay, so we start like this, remember, on the hip. I took my arm and went through, came through. Okay, I kind of set up, kind of bent to help get baby on. I used my arm and got them up as high as I can. We really want baby shoulder to shoulder, okay? So as high as I can. You can even kind of use your head, use your chin and clip that in place, okay? You'll hold it in place with your head, okay? Here, support your baby as you need to. Put your arm through the other side. Okay. So now you can see my baby's up nice and high. They did end up with their arm in on the one side. That's not the worst thing. Okay, now this definitely doesn't feel quite right for me. I'm trying to keep baby high and baby sliding because I got a lot of this extra webbing here. So what are we gonna do about that? We can do a couple things. This is twisted. I'm gonna take my time. It's one of the things with baby wearing, try to put your baby on when they're in a good mood and they're happy. They're kind of have their needs met. Baby wearing is awesome for helping to calm a baby, but I don't know what it is. And, I know a lot of people who wear babies a lot. They'll tell me the same thing. Like if you're not super confident, it's like they can tell sometimes, and sometimes they get a little bit more upset with you. So practice with the, if you've got a baby doll, if you've got, a backpack you can put some stuff in and weight it a little bit. Practice a few times and get comfortable before you get your little one, and it'll help you feel better and make sure baby's sort of happy. So when I pull down, I can keep pulling and pulling and pulling. And it's kind of like what I described, I think maybe in the first video, where I can keep tightening and that hurts. And baby's still not quite where I want them. That's probably the second most common thing I hear. Oh, I just keep tightening and I keep tightening and there's no more to tighten and it just hurts and baby's so close and they're squished and they're not in the right place. That's not what we do with this carrier. Okay, so I'm gonna go it out. Okay, so this carrier doesn't have a waist, right? We need to rotate. Okay, and then pull. All right, so I'm gonna do it again so you can see. All right, so we got baby up, they're close. We have this extra webbing. We wanted to put them on with that extra webbing, okay? We can literally grab, pull up, and do it by leaning forward if that helps. The way this webbing in the Onbuhimo Pro is designed to help us to do that. And we bounce baby up, bounce, do that. Okay, I did it both at a time, probably with your baby who's not a doll. More likely, you kind of need to hold one at a time. Okay, so I've got one hand here. I'm pulling on the webbing here, bounce. bounce, bounce. Okay, when I feel good about that side, go here, hand on baby to support, gently bounce, bounce. We do lots of bouncing in baby wearing. Okay, not quite there, but close. I don't want to tighten anymore. It's really gonna not help. I'm gonna see if I can rotate a little bit more. And then even maybe loosen a little bit. Yeah, maybe rotate. Okay, so now you see kind of this excess stuff. That's okay if we're comfortable with the PFAs, but especially with a smaller baby, we might want to tighten them. The way the Onbuhimo Pro is designed is this is really easy to grab and pull. Okay, so now we've got that. Awesome. So baby is up. Baby is pretty close to shoulder. Pretty close to shoulder to shoulder. Okay, you're comfortable. Baby's comfortable. You can also use a version with a hood. I'll probably put a hood on for another version, but that's starting from the hip. Okay, so I'm gonna do another video and show you another method.